If I ask you today that what is entertainment, you say watching movies, listening to music, scrolling on social media, right? Eating junk food, taking alcohol. That is entertainment, that is fun, that's enjoyment. Well, that's the way you've been wired, you've been brainwashed nowadays to believe that all this constant instant stimulation is a form of entertainment. But then, inside your brain, inside your nervous system, in your body, these things are actually not real entertainment. These things are not actually real enjoyment. Look at the primitive times, not even in the caveman times, in the times of our fathers and our forefathers. How do they enjoy? Most times they spend time with loved ones. Just check back. How do your father or how does your father and mother enjoy in their own times? Do you think they watch movies all day? Do you think they scroll? Even if they have, which I doubt, even if they have modern smartphones, they hardly scroll. They hardly watch movies. Of course, they watch movies, but not all day. They listen to calm music, not all this loud, fast music that we have today about cars, about women. Then they will usually entertain themselves by spending more time with loved ones. They spend more time outdoors. They spend more time doing meaningful, slow things. They build their craft and they enjoy what they do. Because these things, these natural, wholesome, real life things, is entertaining enough for them. It's enjoyable enough for them. They don't need that short, sudden burst of pleasure that we get from social media, that we get from watching content, that we get from watching movies, that we get from listening to loud, fast music, that we get from playing video games. They don't need all this short form content. They don't need all this short form, sudden burst of stimulation and entertainment. They enjoy life slowly. They spend more time with loved ones. They read, they journal, they meditate, listen to slow music, listen to calm things that regulate their nervous system. But today, if I ask you what is entertainment, these are the things that you choose. You choose these instant forms of constant stimulation. That is why you are always restless. That is why you find it hard to get good sleep. That's why even if you sleep, you don't have a restful sleep. That's why you are anxious today. That's why you have modern day mental health problems. Depression, anxiety, OCD, ADHD. You have all forms of mental health issues because you are always entertaining yourself. And then this sudden short burst of entertainment and stimulation keeps our brain on survival mode. And then that is why we are always restless. Even when we get back from work and we say, okay, we want to rest, we are not resting. After a day of hard work, what would you do in the evening? You scroll. And this scrolling exposes you to triggering content that goes against your values, which of course you might feel offended when you see content that goes against your values and culture. You might not react, but something is reacting in your brain. You see something that is triggering, something that is maybe annoying. You see something that is, something that is actually not a normal thing. You see something that tries to, how do I put it? Maybe you see something that is not aligning with your goals. It's not aligning with your culture. You are triggered. You see something that is fast, something that is stimulating. In fact, you see something that is funny. You see something that is entertaining. And at the process of watching all this content or playing video games or listening to loud, fast music, to you, you feel like you're enjoying. To you, you feel like you're getting entertained. But your brain is functioning at fast pace. You are triggering your brain, the highs and lows, the ups and downs of dopamine, the spikes and the troughs of dopamine. Is why you are always feeling restless. You say you want to rest after a day of hard work, but then you are watching content in bed. And then your brain is in active mode, where it's supposed to be in resting mode. When it's time for you to sleep, you can't get a good night rest. You find it hard to fall asleep. And even when you sleep, your brain is still in that survival mode. You keep tossing and turning in bed. You keep waking up in the middle of the night. And you find it hard to fall back to sleep. You can even start feeling anxious. Start remembering your problems. And then you think in the nighttime where you're supposed to be sleeping, you're anxious. You have a feeling of fear of the future, things that happened in the past. You can't seem to get over it. This is as a result of constant instant stimulation. I bet you, if you try to regulate your nervous system by reducing your stimulation from modern day devices, if you regulate your nervous system by reading more, by journaling, by meditating, by being mindful and present, by spending more time outdoors with loved ones and friends, by doing slow things that are not so stimulating but regulate your nervous system. I bet you your anxiety will reduce. I bet you your depression will go down because you will find meaning in more wholesome, meaningful real life activities than from modern day devices. All you need is just a regulated nervous system. 90%, 95, 99, 98% of us nowadays, we don't have a mental health problem. We actually do not have depression. We don't have boredom. We don't have mental health problems. All we have is a dysregulated nervous system. And how can you regulate your nervous system? It's just when you're feeling bored, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling uneasy, when you're feeling restless, do not indulge in constant stimulation. Of course, when you are restless, your own solution is to stimulate yourself so that you can feel satisfied and fulfilled. But here, our own solution is not to stimulate ourselves. It's to do the exact opposite. When you are bored, what do? You pick up your phone, right? You scroll. You go and check messages. Someone has liked your post. Someone has commented. You feel validated when someone likes you online. When someone comments on your post, you feel satisfied. That is your own way of getting out of boredom, getting out of anxiety, getting out of restlessness. But here, our own solution is not to indulge. Our own solution is to do things that are even more slow, things that will even make you feel more bored. When you're bored, you are depressed. You want to scroll. That is your own solution. But here, we'll say, do not scroll. Start reading. That's like the most difficult thing anybody can advise you to do. When you are feeling down and depressed, you are feeling like your sorrows are getting over you. What would you do? You start drinking, right? Our own solution is not for you to drink, but to start journaling. Do you know how that it's really difficult? Because a normal person will just go and start drinking, will start scrolling, will start entertaining himself by watching jokes and comedy online. But that's not the solution. Of course, it make you feel better right now. But in the long run, the problems come back because the nervous system has not been regulated. The only ways to regulate your nervous system is to journal, to meditate, to read, be mindful, be present, be introspective. Tell yourself what you are feeling. I'm feeling bored right now because there's nobody around me here. Then go out there and spend time with loved ones. If there are no loved ones to spend time with, meditate, read, journal, listen to slow, calm music that regulates your nervous system, not fast music that will dysregulate you. Because constant stimulation is why we are not restful now. It's why we are restless all day. Even when we come back from work that we're supposed to be restful, supposed to relax, we still indulge in constant stimulation. All in the name of trying to relax, trying to rest after a days of hard work. 1 hour of video game is okay. 1 hour of scrolling is not harmful. But if I'm to scan your brain during that hour of scrolling, there's peaks and troughs, there's highs and lows, there's spikes and downs of dopamine, and your brain is totally active. It's not resting at all. That's why your nervous system is not regulated. You have a dysregulated nervous system. When it's time to sleep, you can't sleep. You're anxious. You keep thinking of the future. Then you can't even regulate yourself from the feelings of the past. You've overstimulated yourself. You've overindulged in constant stimulation. This is why your nervous system is dysregulated. Regulate your nervous system today by meditating, by journaling, by reading, spending time with loved ones, take care of your environment, clean your surroundings, make wholesome meals, write, do things that are slow but are more fulfilling and will regulate your nervous system more. For every aspect of your life, from your finances to business to relationships to career to your religion to your physical health to your mental health, it all boils down to how your mental health is. Maybe you don't even need motivation, you don't even need discipline. You don't even need anybody to motivate you or tell you what to do. You don't even need more business ideas. You don't even need more dieting. You don't even need more exercise. It's just about regulating your nervous system, and then you will do the right thing. Doing the right thing is not about motivation and discipline. Doing the right thing in your business, in your career, in your relationships, in your academics, in your health, your fitness, getting consistent, doing those right things that you want to do in life, all boils down not to motivation or to discipline, but to regulating your nervous system and having a proper mental health. Then you do the right thing. You might not even have an addiction problem if you're addicted to substances, if you're addicted to junk food, or you can't even believe your own mind. You can't even take better decisions. Your mind is gaining control over you. You don't even need all this mental health therapy. You don't even need motivation from all these productivity gurus. You don't even need more productivity guides. All you need is to regulate your nervous system. Nervous system is dysregulated from constant stimulation and entertainment. Regulate your nervous system first, and you see how your life begins to align. Regulate your nervous system first. You see how consistent you'll be in the gym. Regulate your nervous system first. You see how better you make decisions in your business. Regulate your nervous system, and you see how better you make financial decisions. Regulate your nervous system. You see how present and mindful you'll be with your partner in your relationship. Regulate your nervous system. You see how caring and loving you will be to your family. It's not about mental health. It's not about depression. It's not about anxiety. It's not about addiction. It's more about regulating your nervous system first. Then you see how every other thing will fall into place. I bet you. Regulate your nervous system and see how better you feel in life. And you will even make better decisions than decisions that degenerate. I bet you. Your nervous system is the first thing you need to regulate even before you start a business. Your nervous system is what you need to regulate even before you start your fitness goals. Most people jump into fitness goals and they can't even be consistent. They jump into businesses, they can't even stay in line with their business. They can't even make better decisions in their businesses. They can't spend more time with their loved ones because their nervous system is dysregulated. Let your nervous system be regulated first by not seeking stimulation and entertainment, but by doing slow things like meditation, journaling, spending time with loved ones, reading, spending more time with loved ones, going out there, taking a walk, doing things that are not even stimulating and entertaining at all. So your nervous system will calibrate and regulate itself. So your nervous system will believe that, okay, now I can enjoy life. I can spend time with loved ones. I can do meaningful things without my phone. I can choose not to scroll on my phone. In fact, I can choose just to check my phone once a day. Because that's how normal human beings are meant to be. Not to check your phone 100 times a day. If somebody has messaged you, if something is going on online. All these things are what is keeping your nervous system dysregulated. That is why you are feeling restless all day. That is why you are feeling anxious and depressed. I'm telling you, just regulate your nervous system by doing slow, meaningful, normal things that our forefathers will usually do. And you see how better you feel all day. You see how better you have time to do things that are meaningful. Spend time with loved ones, build a business, have meaningful relationships, and live a purposeful and fulfilled life. The nervous system needs to be regulated from constant instant stimulation for you to feel better and live a meaningful, purposeful life. Here, we're not rejecting that you shouldn't use modern devices. We're not saying you should live like a caveman. We're not saying you should be archaic. But we are saying regulate your nervous system. Use these devices intentionally. Get a regulated nervous system to feel more purposeful and live a meaningful life, to get and to gain all your purposes in life and to achieve all your goals in life. All you need is to regulate your nervous system. And that's what we preach here. We preach that you live a primal life. We bring out the primal self, rejecting modern excesses, restore human balance. And that's the message we preach here. If you watch the video this far, then it means the kind of message we preach here resonates with you. I'm welcoming you to the tribe, and we'll see you in the next one.